On the 12th of September 2021, in the late evening at or about 6 p.m., the then State Minister for Prison Management and Prisoners Rehabilitation Affairs had entered the Anuradhapura prison complex using the fact that he was the concerned subject minister and had insisted that the Tamil political prisoners detained under the Prevention of Terrorism Act be brought before him. The prison authorities had gone on to produce 10 Tamil PTA prisoners, 9 PTA suspects who have legal action pending, and 1 individual convicted under the PTA. The said individual had ordered all 10 Tamil prisoners to degradingly kneel before him, and whilst brandishing a firearm, presumably his personal firearm meant for his personal protection, had loudly announced that when he was appointed to the said portfolio, he obtained the power, and I quote, to shoot or free, unquote, the prisoners. He had threatened us, saying that such was the power he has. In the course of these events, the said individual had become uncontrollably agitated and had gone on to place his firearm repeatedly to the head and bodies of 2 prisoners who had abusively stated that he can shoot them all dead on the spot. The said individual's state of agitation was such that the prison authorities and his own security detail, who till then chose to be bystanders, had attempted to pacify the now uncontrollable and hysterical man, fearing the worst. One can just imagine the severe state of trauma the prisoners were in. It was after much effort that the individual was eventually removed from the prison premises. After confirming from several first-hand sources, I chose to tweet from my personal Twitter handle confirming the above stated events on the night of the 14th of September 2021, and I subsequently followed the tweet with a press conference on the 15th of September 2021, followed by a visit to the Anuradhapura prisons on the 16th of September 2021, along with my colleague Honorable Selvaraja Gajendran, by which we were able to further confirm the stated events. A couple of hours after I held a press conference confirming the said individual's illegal and criminal actions, none other than the Presidential Media Division issued a press release at 1:50 p.m. on the 15th of September 2021 stating that, and I quote, Lohan Ratwatta, State Minister for Prison Management and Prisoners Rehabilitation, had tendered his resignation, acknowledging his responsibility for the incidents, unquote, and that the President had gone on to accept his resignation. Honorable Speaker, Sri Lanka is a signatory to the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, ICCPR, and the Convention Against Torture and Other Cruel, Inhuman or Degrading Treatment or Punishment, all of which clearly protect the rights of prisoners. The United Nations Standard Minimum Rules for the Treatment of Prisoners, better known as the Nelson Mandela Rules, along with the other instruments that I have already mentioned, make the individual's actions not only illegal, but call for immediate legal action against perpetrators like him. The rules also call for prisoners to be allocated to prisons closest to their homes. Under these circumstances, I would like to ask the Honorable Prime Minister and the Honorable Minister of Justice the following. 1. Given the nature of the criminal conduct of the individual concerned, Not only can he no longer be the subject minister in charge of prisons and prisoners' affairs, but in fact, he should not be holding any portfolio in government and be a member of parliament itself. Accordingly, will the government ensure that he will be no longer holding any portfolios and take steps to remove him from parliament?
Honourable Speaker, at the outset, let me unequivocally and unconditionally condemn the incident which had taken place. It should have never happened, and it was a disgrace. As the Minister of Justice, I condemn this, and I say that it should not have ever taken. Having said so, let me also tender my apology to the victims and their family members for whatever the difficulties we had to undergo. Having said so, I must reiterate, Honourable Speaker, don't give a political, ethnic or racial flavour to this, because it is not. That is, we must understand that. Having said so, I also must ensure that the law enforcement authorities have already commenced investigation. CID had commenced its investigation. Human Rights Commission independently had commenced its investigation, had gone to the scene and recorded statement. Similarly, the Witness Protection and Victims and Witness Protection Authority, which comes under my ministry, had already written to them to ensure the safety and security and dignity of these prisoners and the detainees, because they are under the custody of the government, and government has the responsibility to take care and ensure their safety. We do agree on that. It is in that sense we also yesterday at the Cabinet decided that we will appoint a retired High Court judge to inquire into this independently and report to us, and thereafter to take further action. So in line of that, let me reiterate once again, this is an incident which should not have been taken place, but this is not racially or ethnically motivated, definitely not. Now let me answer the questions which my Honourable Ponnambalam raised. As far as we know, question number 1, he has already stepped down from the post, ministry concerned. So therefore no interference into the investigation which has been carried on. As I told earlier, CID and HRC had already started the inquiry. They will continue to do so. Thereafter, the retired High Court judge will also tender his report or his report. Based on that, the political authorities and the hierarchy of our party and the government will take appropriate action. That's all I can say, because just like anyone else, even though this incident could be condemned and should not have been taken place in terms of Article 13, subsection 5, presumption of innocence is also entitled for that, whether we like it or not. So let these inquiries take place, and thereafter an appropriate action will be taken.